What is up, everybody, and welcome to FLW Videos. In today's episode, we will be extending into the deep dive series by talking about Armored Mewtwo in Pokemon Go. A couple of days ago, I uploaded a video talking about how big of a disappointment it was going to be if the movesets ended up being true. Unfortunately, that was the case. Everything that got data mined ended up being put into the game. So now we're stuck in a situation where we're asking ourselves the question, what do we do with this Armored Mewtwo? Does it have any type of viability in the game? We will be talking about that today because there are a couple of very important things that we do need to talk about that are on the positive aspects of this Pokemon. I also mentioned in some past episodes that I would go ahead and showcase a counter guide versus the Armored Mewtwo. So go ahead and check it out. Be careful with Tyranitar. If you go up against a dynamic punch, make sure to not use your Tyranitar, and when in doubt, ghost it out. If you do enjoy this type of content and you are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are so close to hitting 100,000 subscribers. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. Armored Mewtwo with a max AP of 3,187. Wait, hold on. Is that it? Okay, that appears to be it. Taking a look at it from a statistical standpoint, I've got some good news. That stamina stat's looking pretty good at 214. That defense stat, woo, in at the number 8 spot. The attack stat though, 182. Overall ranking of 51st in Pokemon Go. Hey, let's go ahead and move on to the moveset. Taking a look at the moveset, check it out. We've got a completely different moveset besides Confusion. We now have 2 fast moves. I wish they would apply this to the regular Mewtwo. And then when we move on to the charge moves, got quite a bit of variety. Rock Slide, Dynamic Punch, Earthquake, and then of course, Future Sight. So now that we have gone over the stats, yes, a little bit of a disappointment in regards to the attack stat. I wanted to go ahead and test it out in a raid scenario just to see how bad it is going to be or how good it is. Are we just over-exaggerating it? So let's go ahead and take a look at some raid results. What I ended up doing was I went up against the Toxicroak, which is going to be double weak to the Psychic typing, just so we could focus a little bit more on Psychic types. And yes, you are going to have to go down fairly far to finally find that Armored Mewtwo. But the good news, however, is that it does beat Mr. Mime. Don't forget that. Yeah, so obviously not a lot of great news. Even when you check out some of the other movesets, it's just going to get even worse for it because it doesn't get the stab benefit, the same type attack bonus. So from a rate perspective, it's just pretty much out of the question. So you might still be asking yourself, well, what the heck do I do with this? How can I use this? Well, I would honestly look at it as a way to just access Mewtwo candies in general. Let's say you are a new player who does not have the original or the normal form of Mewtwo, and you're saying, what the heck, that's all I want. You should use this opportunity as a way to go ahead and build up your candy and to not rely specifically on your rare candies to do everything for you. If you can build up your candy count whenever they re-release Mewtwo back into the raids, maybe they'll do it with a shiny, maybe a new move, something like that, you will be ready to go. So see it as a way to just obtain as much candy as possible. That's personally how I'm looking at it. But regardless of that, I figured we would go ahead and talk a little bit about PvP because we do have some good news in relation to that. I went ahead and checked out PvPoke. If you go ahead and check out this website for the Ultra League, you are going to see that Mewtwo Armored form is considered to be the 7th best overall option in the Ultra League. And if you check it out, we've got Confusion, Rock Slide, and Dynamic Punch, which is fairly interesting. Sometimes that's just the way that it works because it's not always the same type attack bonus, stab bonus, or a Future Sight in this case that ends up being the best move when you're talking about going against all Pokemon that can be in that specific league. We also have some other good news when we get up to the Masters League. It's not quite as good as the Ultra League, but as you will see, we've got the Armored Mewtwo in at the number 24 spot with the exact same moveset. So if you are interested in PvP, that would definitely be a great one. But regardless of that, if you were trying to trade this Armored Mewtwo to get it down into the Great League, it's unfortunately not going to be able to get there. It gets down to like 1580 something at a perfect 000 IVs. But in the future, we do have the opportunity of maybe seeing it in special research. If that happens, it will get bumped down to level 15, and then it will qualify for the Great League. So that will be truly interesting if that gets added into the game. So we have talked about this Pokemon. Yes, I get it. It is definitely a disappointment when you compare it to just the regular form of Mewtwo. If you are on the PvP side of things, there's some good news. And then for everyone, really, if you just look at this like a candy investment, a way to just build up your Mewtwo candies, this is definitely a very positive event, and for the fact that we get it for a full month, I am definitely going to take advantage of this armored Mewtwo in the raid system. But anyways, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did enjoy it, let me know in the comments section below. What do you think about Mewtwo? What do you think about armored Mewtwo? Is it all negative? Let me know in the comments section below, and I will see you next time. Jesus Christ, this Pokemon's bad. This is where we give a huge shout out to the patrons on Patreon. As many of you may not know, as far as YouTube content creators are concerned with smaller channels, you don't make that much money, although there is a lot of hard work that goes into it. So support on Patreon is very important to smaller creators, and I want to say thank you so much for everyone who has chosen to be a part of it.